computer. Record there. Record there. No driving gloves tonight, everybody. Or again, to you, valuable single listener out there. Sean and I tonight, Will's building cars over in undisclosed locations.
He's in a bunker somewhere, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
he's in a bunker. They're shored up.
Worse people to be in a bunker with, I guess.
That's probably true. That's probably true. She seems to be quite nice.
He sent some pictures of the latest project he's working on, some Ferrari or something. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe not. He told us not to talk about it.
Yeah, you got to share those with me. They're pre-runnering a Bugatti Chiron, I think.
I saw pictures of that on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, it's something to that effect. It's a pre-runner. They're talking about running I don't know, the Mint 400 or something like that with a Bugatti Chiron. And a Bugatti Chiron EV pre-runner, I believe, is what they're doing.
Oh yeah, they're swapping in a drivetrain from one of the old City Electric cars for it.
I thought it was a Model Y. Is it a City Electric?
City Electric.
Okay, so it's
it's a TV show, Motor Trend TV. Budget's a little tight,
and it's actually a hybrid. It's the City Electric Peel P50 hybrid. It's really really cool, really cool.
Yeah. So that's the one that got away. Remember. And Derek's running off to somewhere. I don't know. I assume it's work related, and who knows? He took a truck. He took his old Chevy. I don't know. He's not there. So it's just Sean and I tonight, and we're both buried. I'm taking some podcasting courses to help improve the show for you guys. Doing about 18 other things. Wish some of it produced some income. Sean's got some of. Well, I don't know. Can we talk about what Sean's doing, or is Sean just?
Oh yeah, no, we can definitely talk about it. It's
just building SD's model rockets, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't work. I don't work at all, except for I don't know.
Sean, that's not news to any of your friends.
I know all of my friends think I don't work. No one thinks I've ever worked a day in my life, really. Nemesis Lab is actually in the process of releasing Gen 2 of our motorsport chassis, and while we're doing that, the NLO2 is what we're calling it. That is releasing. We've got a couple of those sold. Those just went to powder coat. One's going out to the West Coast, one's going to Oklahoma. We've got a bunch of people sitting on the fence just waiting to pull the trigger on it. They just wanted to see the finished product, and I have one sitting in my den right now that's drivable, and all expectations that we had of this redesign have been absolutely eclipsed, and it's just so exciting. And then Pete, my partner at Nemesis, Pete came down from Pittsburgh basically to be here to assist when these three chassis, these initial three NLO2s were coming together. And then while he's here, we're working on all kinds of other stuff. We have some haptic projects that we're working on for gaming and simulation. We have a command module that we're putting together based off of the NLO2 architecture that all of this kind of fits into No Driving Gloves, just because Nemesis Lab, we build simulators, we build gaming chassis, we virtually play with cars. As you've seen on No Driving Gloves a couple times, I've done some cannonball-ish runs in the Crew 2, and it's basically coast to coast, and we're just playing with virtual cars and having fun. So that's what I'm up to for the most part. And then there's a bunch of other stuff going on as well with Nemesis. It's crazy, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Bronco. Are we not here to talk about the Bronco?
I'm not touching the Bronco. I'm going to wait for the.
You're going to wait for the.
I'm going to wait for the press reveal. We already had our cheap Jeep episode,
Okay, I thought we were going to talk about I've got Bronco stats pulled up. What are you going to? You're going to sideswipe me here.
I was going to just say that we're doing just a short little episode tonight. We're sitting down on July 1st recording this, and a lot of things are changing a little bit with No Driving Gloves for the listeners out there. This episode's going to release on July 2nd. No editing. We're just doing a quickie. Maybe we'll get to the Bronco and some of its stats. I don't know. I just want to let everybody know that all our videos have moved over to our Patreon page. That's something that was explained to me, blah, blah, blah. The videos are going to come out I'm going to start as soon as we conclude a show. They'll be uploaded and within 24 hours be available to view on Patreon. No editing, nothing. Raw, live, uncut. We clean up the podcast for audio release. That'll still be available for free audio, and it'll be available on YouTube audio for free for those of you that listen to it audio on YouTube. But all the video content's moving over to our Patreon page. Right now, it's a $5 a month tier. If you think we're ripping you off for that, send some emails. And maybe we'll change. Maybe we won't. We had Dave Pisciuto on a couple of weeks ago, and he's very adamant, don't discount anything, and it seems to work for him. He had some pretty successful, I'm going to post, probably share tonight or tomorrow. He just had an episode about his go-karting and his first couple of go-kart races. I'll share that. We had him on 5 or 6 episodes ago talking about his go-karting because his podcast and his YouTube really don't cover go-karting. And we hope to have him back on towards the end of the season to find out how his year went. We've got the ever-rotating hosts here, Sean, Derek, Will, and me. And we just, whoever hits. So we hope you guys are enjoying everything about the show. We're looking at the idea of getting some call-in numbers and having those posted on social media here shortly. And you can call in and leave messages and comments about the show. Just taking a couple of things to another level. The listenership's up. The Facebook page is growing. I want to thank all the listeners for that. Now,
I don't want to thank them at all, John. I definitely.
You just want to talk about the Bronco for some reason.
No, actually,
I see your Alpha becoming a Bronco. Is that what we're talking about?
No. There's so little chance of that happening. There's more chance of my Alpha becoming a Renegade than a Bronco. I promise you that.
Well, that's cheating because that's still a Chrysler product. It's still a Fiat at heart.
I like the Renegade, actually. I've actually off-roaded the Renegade, and it's an epic little thing. It's especially the trail-rated one, man. We literally just hammered on those things at the Chelsea Proving Grounds, and it was amazing. Like water crossings and mud holes and all kinds of on and off camber giant berms and stuff at Chelsea, and it just took it. And kept digging, and my wife is standing right behind me, and you can't see her right now. What? I do not want food yet, but I will be done momentarily. We're doing an abbreviated show. My wife, ladies and gentlemen, my wife.
Yeah, she popped on screen for a second there.
There was like just a little,
and she kind of matched your background. It almost made her look topless.
Ooh, the show just got risque. No, I like the Renegade. I really do. I dig it. Like if you wanted to, if you need like a hatch that you could still put 4 people in, and maybe a dog of some size in the back. You're not getting a Mastiff in one, but we could get our Greyhounds in one. It's kind of a cool little truck. I dig it. That's not really what I wanted to talk about, but I definitely dig it.
Well, I'm trying to do anything to keep you off the Bronco.
Oh, is that where we're going? How about Lamborghini will sell you a 4,000 horsepower boat? Have you seen that?
Is it really a Lamborghini, or is it some guy that made a picture for Rob Report?
No, evidently it's a company called Technomar. But then they're building a boat that's Lamborghini powered.
The hype beast is what I'm seeing here.
It's insanity, total insanity, because everyone needs a couple V12 diesels making 2,000 horsepower a piece.
Lamborghini unveils 4,000 horsepower Technomar for Lamborghini 63-foot super yacht.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, why?
It's just $3 million. The scary thing is, we know a couple folks that may actually buy one.
Well, that's what I was going to say. it's half the price of a Koenigsegg. I mean,
yeah. I mean, we know a couple folks that could literally be like, yeah, I think I kind of want one of those. So if you're out at Logan Martin and you see
the problem is Logan Martin has a 34-foot max grandfather clause, or maybe it's 32.
Do they really?
Yeah, one of my friends owns the largest boat you can have on Logan Martin, and it's grandfathered in, and it's 34, 36.
Okay. I didn't realize they had a size.
Yeah. Otherwise, think of the people we know. Somebody would drop a 155-foot boat, and nobody could get around.
It looked like
they'd helicopter it in.
Looked like the Monaco Harbor during a Grand Prix weekend at Logan Martin. That's exactly what we need: is 200-foot yachts on a lake. I want a 200-foot yacht on a lake just to go crappie fishing. Like, why not?
Well, I mean, you could do it on like Lake Michigan or Lake Superior.
Yeah, that'd work. I mean, any lake that has a tide is not really a lake. Any lake that's big enough to actually have a tide, I don't necessarily. It's kind of like Pluto in that respect. It's too big to be a lake. Rename them.
Well, they're freshwater, and they've got these crazy little rules.
They're the seas of Michigan. How's that?
Yeah.
I just locked John up. I can literally see him thinking like, I'm not sure.
I think that was an internet thing.
How about the Mansouri Ford GT? Have you seen the Mansouri Ford GT?
I avoid looking at those. Anything by them just does not appeal to me.
It is.
So I have not seen it, but I will probably go, let's say, hideous. The only thing I like less usually are Liberty Walk kits.
I don't mind Liberty Walk stuff. It depends on the car.
No, Liberty Walk, they used, like I always say, they used to sell in J.C. Whitney as 4x4 fenders. I mean, you can see the little rivets and screws and everything. I do know the newest Liberty Walk kits have finally listened to me, and the fasteners are invisible. But it's
I like the exposed fasteners. I think they look cool. I think they look race car.
I think they look like 4x4 pickup trucks out of the 1970s.
So we're back to pre-runners.
Yes, we are.
Okay, it's perfect.
Well, they didn't have pre-runners in the 1970s, did they?
I think they've always had pre-runners, have they not? I don't know.
No, monster trucks came out in 74. So,
is that when the first Bigfoot was 74?
Bigfoot 1, I believe, was 74.
Was it really that long? I was 4 years old when that happened?
Yeah.
Really?
You're an old man.
Yeah. I've been around a day or two. I didn't realize. I thought that was early 80s when that happened. What was his name?
Bob? Oh, no, because the early Bigfoot was like, I think it was a 74 Ford.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I remember pictures of that original truck. That thing was crazy. Like when it came out, everybody lost their minds. Like,
well, it was just a promo thing for Chandler's 4x4 place, and I think somebody gave him the tires, or he bought the tires dirt cheap from a Army Depot, and put the truck together, and then somebody said, "Oh, you can crush cars with that." So he started crushing cars with that.
How did we get to Bigfoot from Mansouri Ford GT to
Woman
Bigfoot?
Nearly decapitated after flying turtle smashes into her car windscreen.
What? What? Where are you?
Well, the headline is how.
John's literally like, we're putting together this little blurb of a show, and John's literally going through like the National Enquirer and the Daily Mail looking for vehicular-based articles.
There's a picture of this turtle halfway through the passenger side. Maybe it's driver's side. It could be an English car windshield. And then they've got a picture of the interior and the rest of the turtles through it. And then they've got a picture of Mario in his little car, kind of like, what the heck? But I don't have any. Wait, maybe I do have a story on that. Or wait.
Is there a picture of Mario like saying "It's a me" and throwing a turtle at?
Nope.
Or is that too soon?
No, there's nothing. Sorry, no other information to be found on that.
No other info. Oh, what do we have here? Minnie has something Does Mini have something new? The 2021 Mini Cooper John Cooper Works GP.
Oh, they've been talking about that one for a while. It's just a whole bunch of kitted out stuff on a Mini, and it's $60,000 or something.
I mean, the GPs have always been limited production, and they've been really cool. The first gen GP, the first and second GPs, I really wanted one, and then like the second one, I went and actually looked at it, and it was like $46,000 or something like that, sitting on the showroom floor. And I'm looking at the car going, at no time would I ever consider a Mini Cooper to be a $46,000 car.
Oh, I have a friend who bought one 2 years ago. John Cooper Works in British Racing Green, $53,000 sticker price.
Was that there was a Silverstone edition or something like that
Nope.
was green? No, it wasn't even the special edition.
It had everything on it except one option, but $53,000, and that was after he negotiated like $2,300 off sticker, and it took over almost a year to get delivered because of some shipping issue, or the way Mini builds cars. So by the time he got it, they were building Minis and Cooper S's in the next model year, and he got a previous model year car. So he bought more than a year old car for no discount. I mean, it's a year timeline depreciation. When I start looking at, let's look at it this way: $60,000 for a Mini, John Cooper Works GP, blah blah blah, limited edition, or $60,000 for a C8.
Or $60,000 for a C8, or $35,000 for a Civic Type R, or $35,000 for a Focus RS, or it's just like
$65,000, $65,000-$70,000 for a Hellcat. I mean, hell,
if you want to get pre-owned, you can get a Quadrifoglio, either the Giulia or the Stelvio. You can get a Quadrifoglio for less than $50,000. That's yeah, I love Minis, man. I really do. I'm a fat guy in a little car anyway. You know that. I love Minis. I love little Fiat 500 Abarths. I like tiny, hot hatches. I like cars that you have to put on like a shoe. There's something about them. They're very visceral. They turn me on basically. But when I look at a Mini Cooper and I see a $45,000 plus or $55,000 plus price tag, it's like,
well, we go back 20. I'm talking 20 years. The ex-wife and I had a Mini Cooper S ordered, fully optioned, everything on it, and it was only going to be like $23,000 or $24,000.
Yeah, that was 2002 is when they came to the States.
Yeah, so,
I had a 2002 car that I campaigned in SCCA nationally, and the car was epic.
Now, we were supposed to get the 23rd one delivered in the Washington, D.C. area, and due to political things, it never happened. But, I mean, we've more than doubled the price of the car for the top of the line car. I understand there's some inflation involved, but I just
John's like, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I'll admit I'm old and I'm cheap, but
yeah, I mean, old and cheap is one thing, but we are car people, and you have to admit that they're fun cars. They are an absolute blast to drive, but at some point there is a return on investment cap that you reach. There's a pain limit basically when it comes to what you're willing to spend for a particular make of vehicle, and $50,000+ for a brand new Mini Cooper should never be a phrase that you have to utter. It just doesn't even make sense. $50,000 is rarefied air when it comes to a toy for most people. And I don't get it, man. Go out and buy a 3 or 4 year old one, and you can buy it for backside of 20. You can get a JCW for 22 or something like that, and that's a fun car.
No, it's the typical thing, and I think I'm luckily by the age of 50, I may have arrived, and I bought a $18,000 depreciable car and we'll be paying cash for the next toy car. When we come out of this thing we're going through now, I plan on buying another toy car. Right now, I don't want to let go of the cash, but I think once normal has returned, whatever it is.
You want to wrap this? It's a short episode, right? Yep. You want to wrap the short episode up on what is the next toy car? Or do you know? Are you reserving decision?
Right now, I'm just playing with the idea of maybe getting a Miata or a Boxster again. Just something 2-seat, 2-seat convertible. Even though I'm in Alabama,
you're turning it way down, man. You're who are you? It's like I don't even know you.
Well, I'm being a little practical, and you got to remember we also have this, wide body 400 horsepower, E85 equipped Cadillac in the driveway too.
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true.
So she has a toy car, and I can have a toy car, and then we have our practical family car.
Every time that I've talked to you for the last, I don't know how long though, about a toy car, and Lotus has always popped up. Have Evoras just not depreciated enough for you yet?
Evoras are cheap. I mean, you can get Evoras for the same price as an Elise, but I'm just not, I don't know.
You're not in anymore.
It goes back for a couple of years. I just haven't had the desire to have a Lotus. I don't know why. Sorry, Lotus people out there. If I was to consider a Lotus for a toy car, it would be an Elan M100 again. And my fear on that, the same way as a CRX, I really don't want a 30-year-old toy car. I want something that's a little bit newer, and I don't have to worry about it failing me. Again, I don't like car maintenance.
Does your toy car need to have a warranty now?
No, because that gets it into a whole different price bracket.
Okay, just checking.
It needs to be fully depreciated out. And it's one thing that I've talked to many car collectors, and if you want to turn this into No Driving Gloves Dave Ramsey edition, you need to make sure your toy cars are fully depreciated out. I mean, CRX would be great. First generation show would be great. The Elan M100 would be great. Fully depreciated out, possibly upside on those. But I don't want the nightmares of mechanical failure. If I'm going to go something that old, I'm going even older and going to a C3 Corvette. So when it breaks, I can fix it at the local AutoZone because I do know how to change my own windshield wipers. So I am a grown man.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, I have sort of in the last couple of years realized that I don't want a car out of warranty at this stage. Like I don't have a garage to fix it in that's at my house.
Oh, I'm not going to fix it. There's a guy over in Pelham I'm hoping will work.
Right. Like I'm 50 miles away from civilization now, or 50 minutes away basically from civilization. Not quite that many miles, but I literally my toy car of choice, if I went out tomorrow with money in hand to buy the next toy, as much as I have said came in over the last decade plus of my life, because my little stint with Porsche basically burned that car into my psyche. It became my spirit car. I think now that I've owned the Alpha for a little over a year, I really think the 4C may be the next toy for me. And that's really weird to say because Cayman has been the go-to for so long, but you can buy a 4C for so cheap now. And there's something about being able to look at a car and go, that's got a carbon tub. I don't know why it just makes me giggle. I think that's probably my next one, if that makes any sense at all.
You said carbon tub. My head just hopped over to the new Polestar.
The Polestar's cool. The Polestar EVs are actually really cool.
So, well, they've got that new one that's in the press fleets right now. I keep reading about, hearing about, and $155,000, and it looks good. Everybody likes it. We'll put pictures up on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a cool car.
But that's
Polestar doesn't know how to build bad things. I mean, Polestar builds amazing stuff. Well, in conjunction with Volvo. So
the whole thing with Polestar is, especially with this first car, clean slate. They weren't building to a price point. The engineers and designers were told to build this car.
Right.
They weren't saying build it, but we've got to sell it for $60,000. They said build it and we'll sell it. So it's really nice when, cool. It's really nice when, designers have that. That's why Ferraris are expensive, why Lamborghinis are expensive, why, because they really, they're not building to a price point. They're building to a desire or a dream. So
indeed. And now you've got me thinking about a powder blue Polestar, like proper full tilt Polestar V60. That's a cool car, man.
You know me long enough to go back to when I bought my Boxster, my 987 Boxster.
Yeah, you were dumb enough to loan that car to me for a day.
I'm dumb enough to loan everything. Ask me one day about loaning one of my CRXs out and somebody coming back and saying it's on fire. But
you've loaned me 2 cars to do 2 very different things with, and they both came back in very good shape.
Well, you lent me some too, and I think I treated them well. But I was looking at, I almost bought, instead of the Boxster, a Volvo Polestar C30 that was custom spec'd by an American buyer, but somehow had Swiss delivery. It was a Swiss-only color. Only like 4 of them were painted the shade of green. HRE wheels, Polestar, everything on it. And it was the same price, again, as a C30. It really had no premium. It's always been kind of nice. It's kind of like the C30. Cadillac. So
I really like. We almost bought a C30 too. We almost bought a C30 and took the factory delivery deal. You could get one at sticker and they would give you like 2 tickets to two round trip airfares, and they put you up in a hotel for like 5 days, and then you could take delivery of your car and drive it around Europe for up to 60 days or something like that. And then you took it back to the factory and you flew home and they put it on a boat. And then a month or so later, your car shows up. And we were so close to doing that. And I kind of wish we would have pulled the trigger on it, because I think they killed that program. And if they hadn't killed that program, obviously with the current state of the U.S. and COVID, we're not really welcome over there anymore right now.
Yeah, so you can't go pick up your car right now.
Right.
If you've got that Porsche or Mercedes on European delivery, sorry.
Yeah, you might as well just go ahead and scratch that one. Go back to your dealer and go, hey, can I get that extra cash back? And on that note, are we keeping this short? Because if we're keeping this short,
I was going to say, I'm done. We were going to keep this short.
All right,
we ended up hitting 30 minutes. You guys take it easy. Some big ones around the corner. One that I'll just tease. Podcast coming out Monday or Tuesday next week. Lamborghini has been asking us to get this thing out because some of their people want to hear it. I don't know why, but
I know why, because the gentleman that we interviewed has done something amazingly cool, and you guys definitely want to check it out.
Well, I hope I talked over you. I don't want to give anything other than Lamborghini wants to hear this podcast, and hopefully we'll get Lamborghini's response on it too. It's nice to be wanted. With that,
it definitely is.
Tuck your Zambonis away. Derek, take it easy. I don't think he's commuting to wherever he's going today. Will, Godspeed to you in your
enjoy
hellacious work schedule.
Enjoy your cave and enjoy your 900-hour work week, sir.
And Sean, I'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye-bye.